Here are the top stories for today, October 30, 2019. A strong aftershock hits parts of Mindanao Wednesday morning. President Duterte is expected to schedule his future travels as okayed by his doctor. Malacanang says President Duterte is likely to take over water concessionaires if a national water crisis is declared. And Mindanao Development Authority Chair Manny Piñol criticizes meat processors who are threatening to stop buying local pork amid an outbreak of African swine fever.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council has prepared funds following the magnitude 6.6 earthquake that struck on Tuesday. This as the government reports scores of injured from parts of Mindanao. Rom Dulfo has the story.
More than 300 individuals were injured following the magnitude 6.6 earthquake that rocked parts of Mindanao Tuesday. In an update from the NDRRMC Wednesday, it is verifying reports that 6 others were reported dead, while 2 more have gone missing. Over 8,000 persons were affected in 3 barangays in Region 12. A total of 701 families are taking temporary shelter at an evacuation center. 133 public and private infrastructures in Region 9, 10, 11, 12, and BARM were reported damaged due to the earthquake. The NDRRMC said stockpiles and standby funds amounting to 1.9 billion pesos are on standby to give assistance to affected individuals. The agency had added that a total of 270 aftershocks were recorded as of 12 midnight. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfa.
Among the hundreds of aftershocks that hit Mindanao after the magnitude 6.6 earthquake, a strong one shook residents on Wednesday morning. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said a magnitude 5 earthquake was recorded in Tulunan Town in North Cotabato, the same vicinity of the previous tremblor at 5:22 a.m. A strong intensity 5 shaking was felt in Kidapawan City. PHIVOLCS also recorded a magnitude 6.1 aftershock late Tuesday. PHIVOLCS warns that more aftershocks may be expected in parts of Mindanao until Christmas. Ismael Narag, officer in charge of PHIVOLCS Seismology Division, said the high seismic activity in Mindanao may last 4 weeks. State seismologists are planning to put up 4 additional temporary stations in southern Mindanao to closely monitor the area. Narag said they are monitoring a nearby fault that runs from Makilala in Cotabato to Malungon in Sarangani. PHIVOLCS reported having measured over 200 aftershocks from 4.3 to 6.1 in magnitude. The latest aftershock occurred Wednesday morning, measuring 5 in magnitude. And in other news, the Labor Department reminds employers to provide the appropriate holiday pay for workers on duty on November 1 and 2. More on this and other news around the metro from Janice Cabe.
The Department of Labor and Employment has issued the guidelines for compensating workers who will work on November 1, All Saints' Day, and November 2, All Souls' Day. Employees will receive an additional 30% in their basic wage on the first 8 hours. For overtime, the employee will be paid an additional 30% on their hourly rate. For those working on their day off, there will be an additional 50% on the basic wage. The no work, no pay policy shall generally apply. Meanwhile, the PNP Highway Patrol Group is set to deploy its full force around the country to ensure the safety of travelers this All Saints' Day. Around 360 HPG personnel will secure cemeteries, while 260 will be deployed in bus terminals, along with dozens more in train stations, seaports, and airports. Around 300 HPG riders will also be deployed as road safety marshals. Nearly 2,000 force multipliers will also assist the Highway Patrol Group. The Philippine National Police on Wednesday said it is ready to provide assistance to the millions of Filipinos observing All Saints and All Souls' Day. The PNP has been placed on full alert status for the observance of All Saints and All Souls' Day. PNP officer in charge Archie Gamboa earlier said that there is no threat yet to public security. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority is likewise on alert and would also be monitoring major cemeteries. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Still to come, President Rodrigo Duterte is expected to schedule his future travels as okayed by his doctor. Mindanao Development Authority Chair Manny Piñol criticized meat processors who are threatening to stop buying local pork amid an outbreak of African swine fever. These and more when we return.
Abusado, nananakit, mapang-api na kapulisan, narito ang PLEB.
PLEB or People's Law Enforcement Board was created by virtue of Republic Act 6975, otherwise known as the DILG Act of 1990, which was amended by RA 8551. It mandates us to create PLEBs in every municipality and every legislative district in its city.
Sa check and balance mechanism, ito ay isang body na may kapangyarihang duminig sa mga kaso, reklamo laban sa ating kapulisan upang masigurado natin na walang abusong pulis.
Rinirecognize din ito yung ating mga pulis who have done good deeds in the community. We also give rewards and benefits to them.
There are 5 principal functions ang PLEB. Una ay ang pagdudulog ng mga reklamo ng ating mga mamamayan. Ang pangalawa ay pagsusuri kung saklaw ng aming tanggapan ang paglabag na di umano ay inirereklamo ng ating mga mamamayan. Pangatlo, iniimbestigahan namin. Sinusuri naming mabuti kung karapat-dapat ba na itong reklamo ay aming tatanggapin o hindi. Ang pang-apat ay aming dinidinig. Binibigyan namin sila ng pagkakataon upang ipaliwanag kung ano yung mga nagawang paglabag. Panglima, dyan kami ngayon gumagawa ng desisyon. We have only 60 days within which to issue a decision.
Well, maraming administrative offenses na pwedeng i-file ng ating mga mamamayan. Katulad na halimbawa, neglect of duty, irregularities in the performance of duty, misconduct, dishonesty, conduct of unbecoming of a police officer, incompetence, oppression, at kahit na disloyalty to the government. Marami tayong po pwedeng ipatang na parusa. Pwede sa maliit na parusa katulad ng reprimand, withholding of privileges, o kaya restriction of specified limits. Pwede rin restrictive custody, forfeiture of salary, at suspension. At anumang kombinasyon ng mga nasabing parusa o penalties. At maliban sa forfeiture of salary at suspension at mga incompatible penalties, pwede pa rin siyang patawan din ng 1-rank demotion up to dismissal from the service.
Kahit sino pwede magsampa ng kaso laban sa mga abusadong pulis. Meron tayong 5 miyembro ng PLEB. So 1 chairman and 4 board members. Isa dito dapat manggaling sa sangguniang panglungsod. Pangalawa, punong barangay. Ngayon, yung 3 natitirang miyembro, yan yung tinatawag na civilian members. Ang chairman ay pinipili mula sa mga miyembro. Yung 5 miyembro na yun ay pipili ng kanilang chairman. Ang bawat board member ng PLEB ay may termino ng 3 taon. Ina-apply din natin yung tinatawag na holdover capacity. Magkukontinue lang ang kanyang pagsilbi bilang PLEB member.
Naipapatupad natin ang PLEB through sa pagtutulungan ng NAPOLCOM, ng opisina ni Senator Richard Gordon, at ang ating local government units, at ang mga mamamayan, at pati na rin ang Philippine National Police.
Well, ito talagang mag-i-improve ang relasyon ng pulis at saka ng komunidad. Pangalawa, mabilis. May prosesong mabilis rin yan. At saka ang proceedings na transparent. Nandun sa bayan mo yan, nakikita mo kung anong ginagawa. Kung may pinapaboran, malalaman natin kagad. And finally, of course, deter police abuses.
We have organized 1,403 last year, 2018. That is more or less 85% out of the 1,649 municipalities and cities, leaving us 246 municipalities more to be organized this year. The creation of PLEB online database system was developed for us to be able to monitor and then evaluate the accomplishments of our boards.
Nagpo-promote din ito ng data security and data accountability.
We are always on the guard to protect our people. What we only know is to promulgate justice in accordance with law.
Walang taong maapi kung siya ay paglalaban niya yung kanyang karapatan. Kaya na ang plebs para lagi umasenso ang bayan natin.
Huwag matakot.
Itama ang
Mali,
Isumbong sa PLEB.
President Rodrigo Duterte is expected to schedule his future travels according to the advice of his doctor. Malacanang made the statement as the president attends to his numerous overseas engagement this month. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo on Wednesday said the doctor may decide whether the president will be allowed to travel outside the country. The palace earlier assured the president is in good health, even as he cut short his recent visit to Japan due to back pain. Among the president's scheduled trips are the 35th ASEAN Summit in Thailand this week and the APEC meetings in Santiago, Chile in the second week of November. The president is also expected to attend the ASEAN Commemorative Summit in Busan, South Korea. President Duterte is likely to take over water concessionaires and the Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System if a national water crisis is declared. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo quoted the president on Tuesday, saying he will take over the functions of government institutions and stakeholders if they cannot solve the water crisis. Panelo said the Constitution allows the president to take over public utilities or businesses affected with public interest in times of emergency if needed. This would mean a takeover of water concessionaires and a revamp of government agencies like the MWSS. Panelo said the president will decide whether the conditions to take over these utilities are present. Mindanao Development Authority Chair Manny Piñol criticized meat processors who are threatening to stop buying domestic pork amid an outbreak of African swine fever around Luzon. The Philippine Association of Meat Processors Incorporated said they will not purchase local pork to assure the public about their product safety. In a statement on Facebook, Piñol said meat processors have opted not to protect other local pork suppliers to support the government's efforts against ASF. He also claimed that ASF supposedly originated from imported pork, which processors are choosing over local meat. Piñol also lamented that nobody is standing up for the farmers. For its part, the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura said that a domestic pork boycott will have no effect at all, as 80% of processors in the country are not members of PAMPI. SINAG reiterated that domestic pork is safe and that it supports other meat processors who support hog farmers. The National Federation of Hog Farmers Incorporated, meanwhile, said that the group also considers pork from Philippine farms to be safe. In other news, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology allayed fears that the recent earthquakes will trigger activity in Mount Apo in Mindanao. PVOC said the fault line in Tuluna, North Cotabato is not connected to the dormant volcano located near Davao City, Davao del Sur, and Kidapawan City. Nevertheless, state volcanologists are monitoring Mount Apo as well as any possible activity near the area. PVOC is also monitoring other volcanoes in the region, such as Mount Parker and Mount Matutum. Government units and agencies have continued damage assessment in areas affected by the magnitude 6.6 earthquake and succeeding aftershocks in Mindanao. More on this from Ruth Abby Gita Carlos.
The Department of Education is ordered to stop the usage of school buildings damaged by the magnitude 6.6 earthquake that struck Mindanao on Tuesday. DepEd Region 11 said, this is to keep students and teachers away from danger should school buildings prove to be unsafe. DepEd is confirming the total number of schools damaged by the earthquake. Meanwhile, power in parts of North Cotabato is brought back to normal following the recent earthquake. The National Electrification Administration has ordered electric cooperatives in Mindanao to implement contingency measures to mitigate the effects of the earthquake to power distribution facilities. The National Grid Corporation of the Philippines earlier said its transmission lines were not damaged by the quake. For his part, Davao del Sur Governor Douglas Cagas called on residents and provincial employees to stay calm as the province reels from the magnitude 6.6 earthquake. The governor urged everyone to pray for their safety and peace of mind. Cagas earlier visited the patients of the Davao del Sur Provincial Hospital who were forced to evacuate during the earthquake. The Office of Civil Defense Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council in Region 11 is on red alert status as it monitors quake-affected areas in the region. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Ruth Abigita Carlos.
Up next, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar hails the recent development on the killing of a tabloid columnist. And the Philippine National Police is urging President Duterte to name a new PNP chief soon. We will be back after a few reminders.
Sa pag-unlad ng turismo, umangat ang Pilipino. Mga may bahay, nagkahanap buhay. Tagahugas ng pinggan, naging gabay sa karagatan. Isang engineer, napaunlad ang sining ng buong barangay. At ang simpleng magsasagwan, malaki ang tulong sa kalikasan. Silang walang tinig, boses na ng kasaysayan. At ang specialty ni nanay, ngayoy pinipilahan. Ang best friend ng lahat, naging tour guide na. At ang daan-taong apo, naibida ang kulturang Pilipino. Lunti ang ilog, naging entablado. At katutubong sayaw, napaindak ang buong mundo. Ipagdiwang ang isang dekada ng Tourism Act. Kabuhayan sa turismo, pinauunlad ang bawat Pilipino.
The Presidential Communications Operations Office has lauded the ongoing developments in the investigation on the killing of a tabloid columnist and his companion in Arayat, Pampanga. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar praised the Presidential Task Force on Media Security for focusing on the case. Andanar congratulated the PT FOMS following the filing of charges of double murder against suspects Armando Velasco and his accomplices Edgardo Cabrera and A. John Doe. He also thanked the Arayat Police for its speedy action on the case. Remate columnist Jupiter Gonzalez and his companion Christopher Chongson were gunned down in Arayat last October 20. Police are looking into the victim's crusade against illegal gambling as a motive in his killing. The new Bilibid prison has reopened to visitors on Wednesday, almost a month since the inmates' visitation privileges were suspended. The Bureau of Corrections on Tuesday set a schedule for visits to the maximum security compound where high-profile inmates are detained. Quadrant 1 and 3 will accept visitors every Wednesday and Saturday, while Quadrant 2 and 4 will be open on Thursdays and Sundays. No visitation is allowed during Mondays and Tuesday. Families visiting sick patients can enter the hospital ward on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m. only. Jail visits have been banned since October 9 for safety reasons. The Philippine National Police is hoping that President Duterte will name a new PNP chief soon. PNP spokesman Bernard Banak said that even without a permanent chief, the PNP's operations and programs continue under its officer-in-charge, Archie Gamboa. Banak, however, said if Gamboa would stay as officer-in-charge in the coming months, it would affect big projects of the PNP. Gamboa's name, along with Lieutenant General Camilo Cascolan and Major General Guillermo Eliazar, were floated as the next PNP chief. Duterte has yet to pick the next PNP chief after Oscar Albayalde stepped down earlier this month. Following allegations, he protected his men who were accused of selling seized illegal drugs. The president cited honesty as his only standard for choosing the next PNP chief. And here's another look at today's biggest stories.
A strong aftershock hits parts of Mindanao Wednesday morning. President Duterte is expected to schedule his future travels as okayed by his doctor. Malacanang says President Duterte is likely to take over water concessionaires if a national water crisis is declared. And Mindanao Development Authority Chair Manny Piñol criticizes meat processors who are threatening to stop buying local pork amid an outbreak of African swine fever.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.